What's up, everybody? I've been thinking about all the shit I'm gonna talk about when I'm gonna make a video, and then I'll be forgetting. But the main thing I want to talk about, I was thinking about something. You know, like whenever there's a family, like in families, like families are usually held together by the mother or the grandmother, and then once the grandmother dies or passes away, then the family breaks up. And you know, there's a lot of like most black, especially like in most black people. I'm gonna talk about black people, but in America, there's a lot of family quarrels that go on, where families don't see eye to eye. And then, like when a person passes, when a person passes in the family, that's like a family reunion and a funeral at the same time. And then y'all see each other, hugging, kiss, cry and shit. Then y'all go y'all separate way again, and you don't see each other until somebody dies again in the family. But I was just saying, like most families are sitting on a gold mine, and we don't even know it. Especially black families. And the thing is, like when somebody becomes successful, they always move away from that family. They always move away from that family. They move as far away they can from that family. Or they be like, I don't mess with them, they do this or that. I think families need to learn how to get along. That's what people need to do. And I was saying, like most families, especially I think a lot of black families are sitting on a gold mine and they don't even know it. And that goes on with the nucleus of black people in general. Like a black neighborhood is like a bucket with a bunch of holes in it. That's what Claude Anderson said. A black neighborhood is like a bucket with a bunch of holes in it. Meaning the money comes in the neighborhood and it goes out the holes. It goes out the corner store, the liquor store, the fruit stand, the Chinese restaurant, the cleaners. Because all these businesses in a black neighborhood are owned by people that are not from that neighborhood. Like if you go to Chinatown, the money circulates in Chinatown before it leaves. If you go in the Jewish neighborhood, I heard it circulates at least 18 times before it leaves that neighborhood. It goes from one hand to another hand to another before it leaves that neighborhood. You go into Chinatown, it does that about 16 times. You go into a Hispanic neighborhood, it does that about 8 times, 10 times. You go into a black neighborhood, it does it like 2 times at most. Because the only thing the black businesses in a black neighborhood is usually like something about food, or maybe a sporting goods store. And that's the only black businesses you see in a black neighborhood. But back to what I was saying about the black family, it's the same thing with the black family. You got somebody in your family that's very talented. They could sing, they could dance, they could act, they're smart, they're very intelligent, but there's nobody to nurture that person's talent. And if they do have a talent, they'll take it away and make money for themselves, but they don't do it for the nucleus of the whole family. But just think, if you had somebody talented in your family and everybody supported that person to help put that person out. Like my book, my poetry. I sell poetry. I sell it every day myself. But what if everybody in my family was selling copies for me also? That gets it out there. That's like 10 more people that could get it out there for me. You know what I'm saying? But even if you got a person in your family that can sing, they got a beautiful voice. You making demos, handing out demos, giving out demos to your person at your job and stuff like that. And see, that's the thing is we think we be thinking wealth is a good job. You can't create wealth with a good job for the most part. I guess there are exceptions to the rule, but like everybody in that family has a good job. Everybody in your family has a good job, but that's it. That doesn't create wealth. And I don't know. I was just thinking because I remember like when I was in Yemassee, South Carolina, and you see black families that own land, and then on that land they had trailers. They had like trailer houses, but they were all family members. I think that's cool, man. And I said it because it's your land, but it's not a compound. Like the Kennedys and all these wealthy families live on compounds. It's like your house is there. My cousin's house is about two miles down the road. My brother's house is about 2 miles down the road. You know, like the family is still together. I just think families are sitting on empires and they don't even realize it. And they don't, but what happens is, and this is the slick shit. Like if you got somebody in your family that's talented and they go on to make it big, they're going to make it big for somebody else's family. For a record company. They're going to make it big for that record company. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make it big for that producer. They don't make it big for the family. But you're making it big for that other family that's outside of your family. Like I was saying, like when you be seeing basketball players and NFL players at the draft, you know, They be hoping they get drafted by a certain team. The black players be going crazy when they get drafted. The white players, like the black player, he like, oh, now I can move out the hood. But the white player, he could stay in his neighborhood. He could stay in his neighborhood because his neighborhood is usually not crime ridden. You know, he lives around other families that own land. But a black person lives in an apartment building or apartment complex or something like that, and he got to move out the hood. But that white person that made it to the NFL and becomes wealthy, he don't have to move. They take their money and might build another part to the house or some shit. Or they might finally get a swimming pool that they've been waiting for, or a recreational room or some shit like that with their money. But we get money, we got to move out the hood. And back to what I was saying when I said a black neighborhood is like a bucket with a bunch of holes in it. When that black person, you know, imagine if black people were able to stay in their neighborhoods, and how much money they could bring to that neighborhood. But it can't happen like that because, you know, the wolves are out there. But imagine, you know, you try to stay in your hood and do something for your hood. Somebody going to eventually do something bad to you, and that's bad. That's not good. It's not good. But if you can stay in your neighborhood, you can make your neighborhood flourish. But it is what it is, y'all. All right, y'all, let me go. I think I talked y'all to death like always. I got my book in my hand. Corner stores in the middle of the block. Don't beat your children or they'll turn out like me. And I got another book. It's called Agitation Gets the Dirt Out. And then I got another book called Pretty Ugly, A Harlem Situation.